In today's video, I'm going to discuss the 9 ways that you're being a thirsty man. And listen, if you haven't heard this term thirsty before, basically it's an Urban Dictionary term for a man that has a lot of interest, even in too much interest in a woman, and especially in a sexual way. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and a notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right, the 9 ways you're being a thirsty man. And I got to tell it to you, brothers, it is pathetic, okay? I was inspired to do this video today because of something that I saw online yesterday. And it was a woman on Facebook where she posted a photo of herself in a local group. I live in Atlanta. And this group was like meet new people in Atlanta kind of group. So she said, I don't understand why y'all are so thirsty and friend requesting me. So this is my point, and I'm going to get into these 9 things right now for you guys to stop doing this, because it comes across as thirsty and it is a major turnoff to women. Okay, so number 1, and I've spoken about this many times in my videos, is you guys need to stop complimenting women on social media. Like, dude, I don't understand why. Okay, first of all, you have no chance with these women. They're ignoring your compliment. They just are zipping through and they're like, oh, just another thirsty simp complimenting me on my picture, right? Whether it's Instagram, it's Facebook, stop doing it. It will benefit you zero, okay? I've never met a woman doing that. And if you think you have a chance, then you just keep doing what you're doing. But in her mind, she's like, that's pathetic. He's thirsty and he's a simp, okay? So that's number 1, is to stop complimenting women on social media, their photos. All right. Number 2, stop friend requesting her. She doesn't know you, right? Especially on Facebook. That's super fucking creepy, bro. Don't friend request somebody unless you actually know them, on Facebook specifically. Instagram is different by adding them, because I get that too. So I'm talking Facebook specifically, all right? Number 3, and again, I've covered this before. Think of when you start dating someone, think of it like ping pong. You bounce the ball towards her, she bounces the ball back. It's a bit of a game, right? It's back and forth, back and forth. But number 3 is, a lot of you guys are always saying good morning and good evening. I hope you have a good sleep. That kind of nonsense every single day. My point is, you were the first always to say good morning and good evening. Don't be that guy, okay? Because it comes across as thirsty, and then you wonder why she keeps pulling away from you. So again, ping pong. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So for example, many of the women that I date, I might say a good morning, but then the next few mornings I don't. They might say good morning, and it's kind of back and forth. It's this nice, natural back and forth situation. It's not like you always saying good morning and you always saying good night, okay? So you need to stop doing that in terms of, like I said, always you being the first one to do it, all right? So that's number 3. I'm just looking at my notes here. Okay, number 4, you're always too quick to reply to her texts. Like, okay, us guys, I will say, are more organized than women in general, right? When it comes to our social life and our work life, our phones are right there. We know when we have a meeting. We know when we have to get to point A to point B. So we see our texts probably a little faster than women do, because women tend to just leave their phones off to the side, and we're just, we never know if it's going to be some new business opportunity, whatever. But when she texts you, again, this is circumstantial, but sometimes you need to get back to her right away, because she's trying to find out, hey, I'm going to be there in 7 minutes. What's your ETA? That kind of thing, if you're supposed to meet her. But I mean, in general, don't be that guy that's always, as soon as she texts, you're like, oh my God, she texted me. Oh my God. And then you text her back right away, right? Women hate that. So again, it circumstances, right? And it's situational. But in general, don't be the guy that constantly texts her back right away. All right. Now, number 5. This is kind of back to the number 1 about complimenting her photos. Don't be that guy where you're always complimenting her. Like, women have to deserve the compliment, and they don't like it when men are constantly complimenting them all the time. They'd rather a compliment from a woman than a man, just FYI. And if you don't believe me, just ask women, okay? A compliment from a woman counts in terms of weighting way more than a compliment from a guy. So how I do it, right? Instead of complimenting her looks, I will compliment something, an accessory, or I'll say, "Oh, I think it's super cute that you've matched your toenails with your fingernails in terms of your nail polish," right? Or I'll say, "Oh, I really like your shoes." That's what I mean about compliments. But I don't say, "Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, I love your this," right? I keep it to a minimum, and I'd rather compliment the accessories. Okay? So that's number 5. Number 6, I have heard this so many times. Number 6 is you're too touchy on the first few dates. Okay? I had a date, when I was just thinking about, probably just reminds me about a month ago, I had this date, and it was a first date, and we got on the topic of touching. And I said, "Look, I notice you're very affectionate, and I love that. And I'm affectionate too, but I don't want to come across as needy and thirsty and be all over you in the first few dates." And she really respected that, because she's been on dates before where it was a major turnoff, where the guy was very touchy. And so just be very aware of that and not be so touchy, because it comes across as thirsty. Okay. Number 7, bro, this is also an example of being thirsty, where you talk too much. I've heard women say that they didn't even get a word in on the first date, and the guy is like blabbing blah 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 for half an hour. He's going on and on and on and on and on, whatever it is. Especially guys that are bragging about themselves, so they're insecure, so they have to talk about all these trips they've been on. They have to talk about this fancy watch they have, this fancy car they have, whatever. Shut your damn mouth, okay? Guys, let her talk. Ask her open-ended questions. Just sit back. It's okay. And in fact, it's more of a turn on for her the less you speak. All right? So that's number 7. Number 8, all right. This is a thirsty thing, and I'll confess this. I was guilty of this one time, okay? I've been single for 2.5 years, and I was married for 20 years before. And I did this once because I was really turned on by this girl, okay? Once, all right? So don't hold me to the fire on this one. I did it once, and that is, we were kissing, and I started moaning a little bit. And I know you guys are probably laughing, "Oh my God, Silver Bachelor, why would you do that?" I know, bro. I was guilty of it. I was like, "Oh my God, I really, really like this girl." And by the way, that was the first and last date. She pulled away, and then I asked her what happened, and then she said, "Well, I found your moaning a turnoff. Never again have I moaned when I was kissing." And so I tell you guys, and I'm not the only one who's done that. I've heard from other women that some guys, they like moan when they start kissing, and women don't like that. Maybe some are okay with it in other circumstances and you're intimate and all that stuff, but I mean at the very beginning, right? So, so that's why I wanted to throw that one in there. That's number 8. Okay, so number 9 is you're always seeking validation. My God, this goes back to the talking too much thing, right? So many of you guys are like, you're insecure. I don't know why. You feel like you have to get validation from her in order for her to like you. Like, for example, look, I'm an older guy. I'm a short guy and I'm a bald guy. Okay, right? Just call him a spade a spade. I am not insecure about it. I don't give a fuck. I am not going to be that guy on a date and say, "So, do you normally date older guys? Do you normally date bald guys? Do you normally date short guys?" When you ask questions like that, it shows that you're insecure and you have low self-esteem. I walk right into that situation like, boom. Obviously, she wouldn't have accepted the date if she wasn't into me. That's what I assume. I make assumptions, and it served me very well. And by the way, you can take whatever disadvantages you have and it becomes an advantage, right? So, for example, most guys are very insecure in many ways, especially with their height. So, you come along and you're a shorter guy. I'm 5'7". You come along at 5'7", and it's like you don't give a shit. And you walk into that situation with confidence. They're like, whoa, who the heck is this guy? Because most guys, especially shorter guys, are insecure, and you can see it in their body language, right? So I don't display that. So you can turn your negatives or your disadvantages, to say it that way, into a positive, right? Like, okay, like for example, I'm bald, right? I don't talk about it. I don't care. I just walk right in. Boom. This is who I am. You know, my age, same thing, right? Because I have other positives that most men do not have, right? So, for example, and all of us have this, all of us have things that give us a bit of an unfair advantage, right? So, for example, and I'll just share this about myself, one of the unfair advantages is I have high social status, okay? I DJ. That's social status. I have 2 YouTube channels, and this channel, I have over 22,000 subscribers. Only 1% of YouTubers, of all YouTubers, hit the 20,000 subscriber mark. I have a long way to go to achieve my goals, but that's high social status. On my personal Instagram, I have over 40,000 followers. See what I mean? So I have high social status. That's a unfair advantage compared to most other men. Most other men have shitty social status. Women are initially drawn to high social status. Initially, not the money. In terms of income, I'm in the top 5% of all men in terms of earners in North America, in terms of my income. That's an unfair advantage, right? 5 percentile. So I don't brag about those things, but that's what gives me the confidence. And so, for example, yourself, if you're over 6 feet, bro, you're only 15% of men are over 6 feet, bro. So if you're over 6 feet, you already have an unfair advantage in that category. Okay. If you're at least average or above average looking, there, you know what I mean? So you can grab onto things to give you the confidence that you otherwise wouldn't, right? So that's why you don't need to seek validation. So I hope you enjoyed these 9 things. Don't be thirsty. Keep leveling up, and we'll see you next time.